upgrades? Hi, Flora. Good morning. Let's go. Yep. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Rabbi. How you
I'm
doing?
so glad to see you all here this morning. This is a really special, very important, very holy day that we are sharing together this morning. Today we'll be singing songs and saying prayers that you will find in your books and on the big giant screen behind us. We really hope that you will join us when we sing and pray and read together so that all of us can share this wonderful service this morning. We're going to begin this morning with some music.
It's good to be good, and it's better to be better. You can be much better if you try. Doing what is right is sometimes hard to do. Think about it this way and it's easier for you. It's better to be better. It's better to be good. It's better to be friendly. It's better if you would be a friend and wear a smile and do your very best to make each day a better day, much better than the rest. It's better to be better. It's better to be good. And wouldn't it be better if everybody would? It's better to be better. It's better to think twice. It's better to be thoughtful. It's better to be nice. It's better to be helpful. It's better to be kind. It's better to be sharing. And keep this thought in mind. It's better to be better. It's better to be good. Wouldn't it be better if everybody would?
This special day is important to Jews all over the world. People here close at home and people everywhere in the Jewish world are taking time today to think about how we can be better in this brand new year. We're spending time thinking about the things we did in the year that just ended, and we're taking time to make promises about the things that we want to do differently in the brand new year. This is a time for us to make sure that we've said we're sorry to people that we've hurt, and it's a time for us to be sure that we have forgiven people who have said sorry to us. That's the way that all of us make sure that we will be better in this brand new year. So we're going to do some work together this morning with our prayers and our songs to do all of that work. And to get started, we need to make sure that our voices and our souls are all warmed up.
So the melodies of our holidays echo through the years. And on Yom Kippur in particular, there's a sadder sound. There's the sound of Kol Nidre, some of us heard last night. Yai, 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 yai. When we feel sad, it is always important to remember the people who love us, who comfort us with hugs and words and songs. So now let's warm up those loving, comforting voices to be ready for this special day of praying together. So you're going to repeat after me. Yai, lai, 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 lai.
Lai, 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 lai.
Yai, lai, 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 lai.
Lai, 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 lai.
Yai, lai, la, 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 lai.
Lai, 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 lai.
Yai, lai, lai, lai.
Lai, 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 lai.
We rise for Baruch on page 4.
On page 5, this is a blessing that we say to give thanks for the beautiful world that God gave us that we want to be sure to take very, very good care of. You can see the pictures of these children taking care of the earth by recycling and taking care of the animals that make this world so beautiful. And the words of this Hebrew prayer go like this: Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvorei choshech osei shalom uvorei et hakol. Praised are you, God, creator of everything there is. On page 6. One way that we know people love us is that they help make rules to keep us safe, like our families and our teachers. And in the same way, we know that God gave us rules to make sure that we will stay safe and happy and healthy. The Hebrew blessing also with which we give thanks for the rules that God gave us to help take care of our lives, and it goes like this: Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadata. Laws and commandments, rules and limits you have given us. Praised are you, God, you love your people Israel.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai
You can take your seats again, friends.
Turn the page to page 10.
Page 10, that's my favorite page.
Wait, who do you see? Who do you see on page 10? I see me, but do you see me too? No,
I see
who
me.
do you see?
That's weird.
Today is the day that we look at ourselves really carefully. Look at yourself really carefully. Look at your beautiful self. You can see the outsides, and if you look carefully, I bet you know the insides too. You know of all the kind things you did, all the times you shared, all the times you said loving things, and look again at yourself. There were probably times, that I wasn't my best self. There may have been times that we said things that were hurtful. Maybe we were unkind, hitting somebody, or not sharing generously. So today we can look in the mirror and say, I'm going to be my best self this year. Look in the mirror, I'm going to be my best self this
I'm
year.
gonna be my best self this year.
And today is the day that if we have hurt someone, we say, I'm sorry. And if you've done things that haven't been kind to yourself, you can look at yourself and say, I am sorry for not being good to you, to yourself. That is the message for this day.
On this Yom Kippur day, this is the day that we make those promises to ourselves and to other people about how we'll take good care of each other this year, be kinder to the people that we love, be kinder to the people in our homes and in our classes, and be kinder to this beautiful world that God made for us. This is a year of big promises and big dreams. And there are some special prayers and some special tunes that we only sing on this very sacred time of year. So we're going to learn a special tune that comes along with some of the promises that we'll make this Yom Kippur.
Barish Sanctuary, Ikatevu, Uvia.
to go along with that beautiful music, we're going to share some very important words about what this day means. So we're going to turn our eyes to the screen up above. Grown-ups, you can help your kids as we read these words responsively. Today you open the book of life so that we can read what is written on its pages.
Today you ask us to open our hearts and reflect on what we have said and done this past year.
On Rosh Hashanah it is written, and on Yom Kippur it is sealed.
But throughout the year, the book of life is open, and the choices we make leave a mark on our world.
And so we ask ourselves and each other, who will choose to live a good life?
Whose hands will cause hurt and whose hands will help heal?
Who will speak up and who will be silent?
Who will be wise enough to learn from others?
Who will be strong enough to make good choices?
Who will be greedy and who will be grateful?
Who will break people down and who will build people up?
Who will choose to be a blessing?
Let's read together. Through return to the right path, through prayer and through righteous giving, we can earn a new page in the book of life and write a better story in the new year. Please rise.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu V'aneinu, Ki Ein Banu Ma'asim, Aseh Emanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Aseh Emanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, V'hoshienu, Aseh Emanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Aseh Emanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, V'hoshienu.
You may be seated. At this important part of our service, we open up the Torah scroll and hear the message for the day. The Torah portion that we read from on Yom Kippur is called Kedoshim, and it means holy. It's a special part of the Torah that tells us how to be holy. We read it today on Yom Kippur because today is a day we think extra hard about how we behave and act in the world, and we apologize for times we acted in ways that hurt other people, the world, or God. We read these words to remind us how God wants us to act. On page 15 of the book, we join together in the opening blessing before Torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamborach, Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, ve'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el kol adat b'nei Yisrael, ve'amarta lehem kiddoshim tiyu, ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem.
Now that we have heard the beautiful chanting of the Hebrew from the Torah, we continue by taking turns reading the English words on the screen that will help us understand what the Torah is trying to tell us and ways that we can be holy. The Torah says, "You shall be holy because I am holy."
This means we are holy when we act like God.
The Torah says, "Revere your parents."
This means be kind to your parents.
The Torah says, "Keep my Sabbath."
This means celebrate Shabbat and take some time to rest.
The Torah says, "Do not turn to idols nor make yourself molten gods."
This means pray only to God.
The Torah says, "When you reap the harvest of your land, do not reap all the way to the edges of your field or gather the gleanings of your harvest."
This means take care of the hungry and people who need help.
The Torah says, "You must not steal, you must not act deceitfully or lie to another."
This means don't steal, cheat, or lie.
The Torah says, "You must not oppress your neighbor."
This means be nice to the people around you.
The Torah says, "Do not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind."
This means be aware of people with different needs.
The Torah says, "You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against members of your people."
This means forgive people and don't stay mad.
The Torah says, "Love your neighbor as yourself."
This means treat others the way you want to be treated.
Having heard what the Torah sounds like in Hebrew and helping to understand some of its words in English, we now chant together the closing blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
And now we sing together this song about holiness, and the chorus goes like this. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Try that with me. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The second part, listen. Make the choice to be like God, to be like God. Be holy, hear the whisper, present every day. Be holy, hear the whisper, it teaches us the way to be like God, to be like God.
we need your help. The Torah is not yet dressed, and so if you would all please stand up.
Dress the Torah, we can dress the Torah. Dress the Torah we can dress. First we put the belt around. Belt around.
Belt around.
Oh, dress the Torah, we can dress the Torah. Dress the Torah we can dress. Next we put the cover on.
Next we put the cover on.
Cover on.
Cover on.
Belt around.
Belt around.
Oh, dress the Torah, we can dress the Torah. Dress the Torah we can dress. Next we put the yad upon.
And next we put the yad upon.
Yad upon.
Yad upon.
Cover on.
Cover on.
Belt around.
Belt around.
Oh, dress the Torah, we can dress the Torah. Dress the Torah we can dress. Next we put the crowns on top. Crowns on top. Yad upon. Cover on.
Cover on.
Belt around.
Belt around.
Oh, dress the Torah, we have dressed the Torah. Dress the Torah we have dressed.
See, like a little ledge right here would be nice. Okay. Would be nice, just a little ledge there.
Adam was a young boy who lived in Russia a long time ago. And Adam's life was very different from yours. When Adam wanted to eat eggs, his family didn't get them from a store. Adam went and got them from a chicken. And when Adam was cold, he didn't turn up an app on his phone. He had to go chop wood for a fire. And when Adam went into town, he didn't go in a car. He rode in a cart that was pulled by a horse. And Adam didn't go to a big school with lots of students. He and the other boys in his village went to Adam's grandfather's house. And at Adam's grandfather's house, they learned the stories of the Jewish people, and they learned how to read and how to write in Hebrew. And all of this was very special to Adam. But the most special thing of all to Adam was his name. Because one day, Adam had asked his grandfather, "Grandfather, why is my name Adam?" And Adam's grandfather smiled, and he stroked his beard. And then Adam's grandfather led Adam into the small synagogue in their village, and they sat down by a window, and Adam closed his eyes, and he could feel the warm sun shining on his face. And Adam's grandfather said, "You are named Adam, and you are named after my grandfather, whose name was also Adam. And he was named after his grandfather's grandfather, whose name was also Adam. And this way in the world, there will always be an Adam." And Adam smiled, and he whispered in his grandfather's ear, "I will always be Adam. That will never change." And Adam's grandfather smiled, and he stroked his beard, and he said, "Aha, some things change, but some things don't." And then things in Russia started to change a lot. There wasn't enough food, and people were very hungry. There were soldiers all the time in Adam's village, and people were very afraid. Finally, Adam's family said, it is not safe for us here. We need to go to a place very, very, very far away from here, where it will be safer. So far away that we can probably never come back. And Adam's grandfather said, you must go without me. I am too old to change anymore. And Adam said, I don't want to leave you, grandfather. What if I never see you again? And Adam's grandfather took his talit, his prayer shawl, and he said to Adam, this is my talit. It was given to me by my grandfather, whose name was also Adam. And now I am giving it to you. And Adam held it close to his chest, and he said, I am always Adam, and this is my always talit. And with tears in his eyes, he said, that will never change. Then Adam and his family went on a very long journey. They traveled for weeks and weeks and weeks until they reached a village by the sea. And there they boarded a big boat, and they traveled for weeks and weeks and weeks over the ocean until they came to a new country. And in the new country, a great many things changed for Adam. Adam and his family lived in a tiny apartment in a very big city. And things were very hard for Adam and his family. But people took care of them. Sometimes it was people they knew from their village. Sometimes it was the Jewish community. Sometimes it was perfect strangers. But slowly, 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 Adam and his family started to find their way. Adam's parents went to work in a factory. And Adam went to school where he learned English and science and math. And Adam grew up, and every Saturday, Adam would go into the synagogue, and he would take his grandfather's talit, and he would wrap it around his shoulders, and he would say, I am always Adam, and this is my always talit. Things kept changing for Adam. He grew up, he got older, he got married. He went to work in an office long hours every day, but every Saturday, he would get out his talit, he would go to synagogue, he would wrap it around him, and he would say, I am always Adam, and this is my always talit. Soon the fringes, the tzitzit started to wear out, so Adam sewed on new ones. Things kept changing for Adam. Adam and his wife had children. They moved to the outskirts of town. Adam traveled in every day to work in his office. And still on Saturdays, he would wrap himself in his talit and say, I am always Adam, and this is my always talit. Eventually, the collar wore out, so he had to sew on a new one. Things changed and changed for Adam. Adam's children grew up and moved out and got married. Adam and his wife got older and older, and eventually they went to live in a special house with other old people. And still, every Saturday, Adam would go to the small synagogue in that special house, and he would put on his talit, and he would say, I am always Adam, and this is my... Eventually, the cloth wore out, so Adam sewed on new cloth. One day, Adam's granddaughter came to visit, and she said to Adam, Adam, Grandpa, were you ever a kid like me? And Adam thought for a minute, and he smiled, and he stroked his beard, and he said, I was like you, but I was also not like you. When I wanted eggs, I didn't get them from a store. We had to get them from a chicken. And when I was cold, I couldn't turn up an app on my phone. I had to chop wood for a fire. And when I went into town, I didn't ride in a fancy schmancy car. I had to go in a cart that was pulled by a horse. And I didn't go to a big school with lots of students. I went to my grandfather's house where he taught me very many special lessons. And Adam's granddaughter said, Grandpa, can you teach me something that your grandfather taught you? And Adam thought for a minute, and he said, I can try. And then he led his granddaughter into the small synagogue where he lived, and they sat down on a bench by the window, and Adam wrapped his talit around his granddaughter, and she closed her eyes, and both of them could feel the warm sun shining on their face. And Adam said, this is my always talit. It has changed a great many times, and yet it is still my talit. The fringes have changed. The collar has changed. Even the cloth has changed, and yet it is still my always talit. And in that way, it is a lot like me. I have changed and changed and changed in my lifetime, said Adam's grandfather, and yet I am still me. This talit was given to me by my grandfather, and it was given to him by his grandfather, whose name was also Adam. And someday, Adam said to his granddaughter, I will give it to you. And Adam's granddaughter smiled, and she reached up to her grandfather, and she whispered in his ear, someday I will have a grandson, and we will name him Adam, and I will give him this talit, and that way there will always be an Adam, and this will be his always talit. And Adam smiled, and he stroked his beard, and he said, aha, now I can teach you something my grandfather taught me. Some things change, and some things don't. Shana Tova.
We now come to an important part of Yom Kippur. This ancient prayer, we will say, is called Ashamnu. It's a way of saying the things we have done wrong together as a group. While we sing these words, we will echo them. We tap our hearts gently, like we are asking our hearts to open up. And we think about how we can do better in this new year. Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. On Yom Kippur, it's time to restart. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ashamnu, Ashamnu. Bagadnu, Bagadnu. Gazalnu, Gazalnu. Dibarnu dofi, Dibarnu dofi. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. We've made mistakes. We've done bad things. We've done bad things. But this is what the new year brings. The new year brings a chance to change. A chance to change. A chance to grow. A chance to grow. With one first step. With one first step. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. On Yom Kippur, it's time to restart. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. We've used bad words. We've used bad words. And hurt our friends. And hurt our friends. But these mistakes. But these mistakes. Are not the end.
announcements on this morning. We want to thank those teachers and our leaders sitting on the bima, to Peggy Arriaga, Paula Katz, Rachel Bergen, and Sophie Zimmerman. We are so glad you're here. How nice it is for our students to see some of their teachers and leaders on this day. I want to remind you that one of the most fun days of the year is coming up, Sukkot on Sunset, our barbecue-style, Texas-style, Sunday, October 13th. That's this coming Sunday. The event is free, but we ask you to please make a reservation so we're sure to have enough food and activities for everyone who will be here. There is a service break between this children's service and our morning service. Please note that those who have pre-registered for our Yom Kippur Childcare, that will begin at 10:45, and we welcome those who are waiting for childcare to open to spend some time on the little playground. Children must be accompanied by a parent or an adult. Thank you for that. Great news, the biggest announcement of the day. There's something really special. Everyone show me your book. Hold up your book. Hold it tight. You get to take your book home. Yes, you get to take a little piece of Yom Kippur home with you, and you can look through this book for the messages we talked about, and when you need to, you can open up to that special page and take a good look at yourself all year long. And for years and years to come, children and parents, enjoy. Please, we invite you to take your book home with you.
We now rise and ask you to place your hands on the people you love. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May the Lord bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May the light of God's presence shine down upon you and be very sweet and gracious to you.
Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. V'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's goodness always be turned towards you and grant you peace.
Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar.
Amen.
Tekiah Shevarim Teruah Tekiah Gedolah.
Whoa!
It's good to be good, and it's better to be better. You can be much better if you try. Doing what is right is sometimes hard to do. Think about it this way, and it's easier for you. It's better to be better. It's better to be good. It's better to be friendly, and it's better if you would be a friend and wear a smile and do your very best to make each day a better day, much better than the rest. It's better to be better. It's better to be good. And wouldn't it be better if everybody would? It's better to be better. It's better to It's better to be thoughtful, and it's better to be nice. It's better to be helpful. It's better to It's better to be sharing, and keep this thought in mind. It's better to be better. It's better to be good. And wouldn't it be better if everybody would? I'll be better, will you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shana Tova,
Shana
everyone.
Tova.
Have a
Shana
wonderful,
Tova.
meaningful day.